What's going on, gang? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your boy T. We about to get into another video. Recently I dropped another vid about how I went from negative $225.14 to collecting about $71,000 in 30 days. And I got a lot of good feedback from it, but a couple people really still had questions. It's like, what do you do exactly? I don't know what you're selling. And I realized I didn't really completely break down exactly what I do. So I'm gonna try to do my best to actually break this down. I haven't seen it broken down like this in this particular industry. So if you are just brand new to how any of this shit works, then this should be the video for you. So this is remote sales 101. All right, let's break it down. Let's break it down. So I'm gonna start from the beginning, yo. So we're born on this floating rock called the Earth, right? Right? We're just born into it. We really have no choice, right? And also, when we're born into it, we don't necessarily have a choice but to pay attention to it because attention is our baseline function. Even babies, right, when they first come out of their mother's womb, they're just paying attention. They have nothing. They have no choice but to pay attention, right? So, since this is the case, um, what you focus on grows. So ChatGPT told me your brain allocates more cognitive resources to things you consciously pay attention to. Repeated attention strengthens neural pathways, making the most out of your skills. So what this basically means is the more you pay attention to a thing, the more influence it has over you, right? Until you end up actually wanting it, right? You can't really want something that isn't in front of you. You can't pay attention to it, right? So nowadays, the world has been conditioned to pay more attention to what's online than the Earth itself, and that's probably a humanitarian problem there. But it's really good for certain kinds of people. We'll get into that. So Wi-Fi has really become a gateway to this desire farm that we call the internet, right? So a bunch of people, as soon as you open your phone, as soon as you open your laptop, they're planting seeds, right? You could open your phone and not want anything at all, and then you start to really pay attention to it. You realize you don't need it. Realize you don't need it, and eventually it just gets you right. You realize you need it, just like SpongeBob, right? And it's allowed us to pay attention to, desire, and eventually buy things through our phones, right? Through our laptops, through iPads these days, especially with little kids. It's kind of crazy, which is great for people who are selling things online, right? And you can sell all types of stuff online. Obviously, you can sell products like shoes, widgets, hairdressers, stuff for dogs. You can sell services. What if you do lawn care? Maybe you do social media for other people, that kind of stuff. You can even sell money, right? People are making meme coins out of nowhere and they're selling it, right? Just like a stock. So some people, they decide to sell information. They get essentially paid to transfer their knowledge from their brain to your brain. And this exchange of knowledge for money has turned into a global marketplace. It has exploded and will continue to explode over the coming years. So this is an article I got from iMark. It looks pretty legit to me, but basically it's saying the market is set to reach USD 682.3 billion by 233, which is an insane number. We can't even fathom that, right? Even if we wanted to. The global market size is valued at USD 342.4 billion in 2024 and is expected to reach about almost 700. So that's insane, right? So it's only going to get bigger. So why is this the case? Well, part of it is because the easy accessibility to technology, right? Shout out to the age of Aquarius, if you're into that kind of stuff. But they called it. They definitely called it. And because self-exploration is a human need, right? You got Super Saiyan over here. Everyone's trying to expand their capacity as a human being, right? Because it's just naturally within us. We all want to grow. So since information is a resource for exploration, for self-exploration, naturally the breadwinner or the person who's going to be making the most money in this industry is someone who has the most information about a particular topic, right? You got to be a wizard, right? You got to be a category king, or otherwise people won't really want to pay for your information. So here's how the game works in a nutshell. So you can think of information as a stream of consciousness or awareness, right? It's a stream at the top of the mountain. It's flowing downstream. So information flows downstream from higher to lower levels of awareness, right? You're sitting at a mountaintop somewhere, you figure something out, like you realize, okay, I got it. I understand this thing. Then you go down to the people and you realize that you want to teach it, right? You want to solidify this information from your brain into a book, onto a chalkboard, maybe into a course, and you distribute it, right? So at the same time, money flows upstream from lower to higher levels of awareness. So there's people who necessarily don't know what's going on, but they want to know, right? They have a inward. They want to strive for this new information, right? So they want to learn, right? They want to give you their money to maximize their potential, right? And this symbiotic relationship is what sustains this industry, right? So there's people who know stuff, know certain things, who want to teach it, and there's also people who don't know but want to learn. These two types of people come together, and a deal is facilitated, right? So the person who doesn't know gets the information, the person who knows gets the money, and both people leave home extremely happy. All right. So how to play this game? This is essentially it. So you pay for awareness, right? You go upstream. It's my boy Jesus right here. He's praying to, the Holy Father, right? He's getting information. However you get information, right? You can read a book, you can meditate. It doesn't really matter as long as you get it, right? You go upstream, up the mountain, and you interpret it back to the uninformed, right? Then you go downstream. Okay, so this Jesus again, he got the information. He went up to the mountaintop. He got his insights, and he's bringing it back down to the people. And obviously, you can see they're highly interested in what he has to say because they don't know exactly, but they're striving for it. They want to know. So since technology has allowed this one to many transfer, it's a one to many transfer, right? One guy who knows and a ton of people who don't, right? This one to many transfer of knowledge with technology, right, has allowed this model to scale infinitely. So you aren't limited to your immediate environment anymore, obviously. And because of the internet, shout out to Childish Gambino, he's one of my favorite artists. Because of the internet, the world has become your immediate environment. So it's not just the people down the block, not people down the street. It's anyone you can reach anywhere with Wi-Fi. You can touch people and communicate with them. So that allows you to sell and transfer information at a global stage, right? It's Alex Hormozy here. It's probably a well-known figure. You probably know who this guy is. And this allows information sellers to make a shit ton of money. So I don't know if this is pretty accurate, but his net worth right now is, nine figures. Right? Earnings per year is 8, right? Per month is 7. So it's ridiculous, right? But there's no way this man Alex can sell information at scale on his own, right? He needs a team. So this is where you come in. This is where you can start making some money. Okay. So let's scroll up here, and we realize that all these information sellers have a team. They need a team, otherwise they wouldn't be able to sell information at scale, right? So the most important team they have is really their sales team or their sales reps, which is short for representatives. And we're going to break that down. So why are a sales reps so important? Well, it has to do with the word representation, really. The word representation originates from the Latin word representator. I'm not really sure how to say that, but it means to show, to exhibit, to display, and to make something present. Okay, to put something in front of someone, right? So, in whatever is shown, right? Go back to the beginning. Whatever is shown, whatever's put in front of you. I mean, you have no choice but to pay attention to it, right? You just have to. And we know now that whatever you pay attention to, it starts to grow. So basically, the more representations you have, the more attention that you can have, right? The more attention that you can own, the more attention you have, the more desire you have, right? As a course seller, and the more desire they have, the more money you can have as a course seller. So the only way to have more representations is essentially through duplication. So I'm a fan of One Piece. I've been watching it since I was probably like in high school. There's this character named Vegapunk, right? His name is Dr. Vegapunk. And he wanted to expand his influence, expand his productivity. So he was so smart, he decided to split his consciousness up into 6 different parts so he could act as 7 different people at once, right? So this is basically what information sellers do. They more or less have to copy themselves in order to distribute and represent their information to the public at scale. It's really the only way to do it. So let's go back to the Jesus analogy. He couldn't spread the gospel on his own, right? He had 12 disciples, He had Philip was one of them. He's a representative, right? Spreading the word. We got John over in the west, right? We got Peter in the east, right? And we have Andrew in the south, right? All going in their respective directions. And their job was to use the Bible, which is essentially a course or program, to convert people or sell them into Jesus's way of thinking. And they were rewarded for each person they converted or, made into a Christian, right? So nowadays, with the accessibility of technology and information, everybody and their mama got a Bible to sell. You know what I'm saying? So this is why the global market is exploding, which means you can get a slice of this almost $700 million billion pie if you become, one of these info sellers, sales reps. Okay, that's how I made my first 3K online. Quit my job, didn't look back. I used to be a cheesecake server, and now I'm a sales rep for these people. If you think I'm capping, go ahead and watch my last vid. Screenshotted everything. All proof. All proof. Okay. So there are essentially two types of sales reps that you can be. You can be a setter or you can be a closer. So let's break that down, how you can fit into the game. So let's say there's a new information seller on the block, right? He's really popping, bro. He's really popping. People eating this shit up, right? Attention, attention, attention. Like they can't get enough of this guy, right? All this attention is going to this dude right here, Andrew. He's a course seller. Okay, he teaches people how to be confident. Right, he looks pretty confident. Right, look at that face, confident. So he has a hundred. He has 1 million followers across all of his platforms. Right, he's popping on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. Right, his free game is so good that some of his audience is actually willing to pay even more for his game, more for his information. So at the end of each video, he tells people to click a link in his bio, or in his description, and the link will direct them to a page that kind of looks like this. I'm sure you guys have seen something like this, like, oh, how to be confident in 3 easy steps. Right? There's a little play button. Right? Sometimes they don't allow you to actually play it. Sometimes there's a form you have to fill out. But you have to give them their information first, right, before you can watch the video. And this is how they get you, right? This is how we get you, these people. So sign up to watch here. So say you're really interested in learning how to be confident. For example, right, this girl Susan, she puts in her name, she puts in her email, puts in her phone number, right? So this guy Andrew, the course seller, he's too busy, right? Too busy being cool, making content. He doesn't have the time to call everyone who signs up. So what does he do? Hires a sales rep. And about 5 minutes after she fills out that form, Susan will be getting called from a setter, which is one of the sales reps, right? And we'll get into what a setter actually does. So you'll have a quick 5-minute conversation, right? They really don't know who you are, right? So you got to be warm. You got to be like, oh, who is this, right? It could be Jake from State Farm, or it could be Tyson from Andrew's team. How are you? We're gonna have a casual, quick conversation about why they watched the form, right? Why they watched the video, why they fill out the form. What are their goals for being confident? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why do you want to be confident in the first place? What have they tried before? Why didn't it work? What did they try to be confident? Did they try to approach women? Did they try to, go to the gym? Why didn't any of those things work? Right? We're looking for the problem. Are they interested in getting mentorship, right, from Andrew? Are they actually understanding that, what they're doing isn't necessarily working and now they need to make a change, right? That's what we're looking for. And if they are, how much money do they have to invest into getting the mentorship? So now we understand, okay, well, they have a problem. They're looking for mentorship. But now do they actually have the funds to make a transaction with Andrew so they can get inside a program and they can get that confidence, right? So it looks kind of like this, okay? So we're here, right? Oh, Susan, right. I heard you wanted to get confidence, right? Oh, why exactly do you want confidence? Oh, what will that do for you? Oh, okay. You really want a boyfriend? Oh, what would that do for you? Oh, so you want a family? Oh, okay. So when do you want a family? Oh, I see. So okay. So if you have a family, you'll be able to be happy and live the life of your dreams, right? Awesome. So where are you at right now as far as like getting the boyfriend, having a family? Oh, really? So you haven't had a boyfriend for this long? Like, why is that? Wow. Okay. Okay. So you haven't really been, getting out there and putting yourself online. All right. So what's going to happen if you just continue not to, you know, you put yourself out there and fail and not being able to talk to people? Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure. Like, so, that doesn't sound good. So 6 months from now, like, you see yourself getting that family? No. Wow. Okay. So What's going to happen? And you could just continue to bring them down into hell, essentially, the cost of inaction, right? That's what COI means. And then you pivot to, okay, well, I mean, there is a way you can get that confidence and actually, get that husband and get the feeling that you've been looking for. Oh, really? Yeah, of course. Like we have a program. His name's Andrew. You know what I mean? He's a great guy. Teaches you exactly how to talk to guys. Tells you how to be confident, and you can actually get to that point. Wow. Yeah. So I can definitely see what we can do. We can put you on a call, one of Andrew's partners, and we might be able to help you out. Might be able to help you get that family. You know what I'm saying? Everything you want for it. Wow, that sounds great. Boom. Okay, they're hot. They're ready to go on the call. That's essentially how it is, right? So if they're good fit for Andrew's program, aka they want to make the change, they see the value of the mentorship. If they have the money to invest, and if they have the money to invest, you book them on a closer's calendar, aka this is the other sales rep, right? So the closer, his job is to convert or sell them or Susan into Andrew's program. Okay. And this is essentially, kind of what it looks like. So yeah, I think you'd be a great fit for Andrew's part, for the program. I'm gonna put you on call with Andrew's partner. His name's Wayne, and he'll decide whether or not you'll be accepted into the program or not. Right? She's hype about it. I'm hype about it because she seems pretty qualified. So about 1 to 2 days later, right, they'll be on a 30 to 60-minute call with the closer, Wayne. So essentially, this is a baton toss. I don't know if you guys ran track before. I used to run track, and there was an event called a relay race. So there was a baton, this little pole thing that you hold. One person holds it. They're supposed to run, 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 run. Take the baton, pass it off to someone else, and they take the baton and run, 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 run until the race is over. Right. So that is what the setter does. They get the baton, see if it's firm grip, and see if it's a pretty good baton. Right. This is worth passing over. Boom. I'm gonna pass him over to the closer. And now it's Wayne's job. Wayne is going to take the baton across the finish line. Okay. So we're going to go deeper, right? This is Wayne. This is Susan. It's typically going to happen over a Zoom call or Google Meet call. And we're going to go deeper into their dream life, Susan's dream life, her current life, right? How far away is she from that? What's their problems? What's getting in the way of her actually, getting to where she wants to be? And the solution obviously is going to be Andrew's program. So it looks kind of like this. All right. So there's Susan right here. She's got a broken heart. She's not driving a really nice car. She's sad because she can't find a man. And there's Andrew, right? You're representing for Andrew's reality, right? You're a representative. So Andrew has a nice car. He's got a pretty good relationship. He's got money in the bank, living the life that living the life of a dream, right? So since we're on, a computer, right? There's a wall there. I don't really know who you are. I haven't met you before. But over the 30, 45 minutes, we're going to try to merge your reality, right? Susan's reality and Andrew's reality through Wayne, if that makes sense, right? So Wayne is going to try to completely understand Susan's perspective to the point where he can actually see what she sees, right? And if he does a good enough job, he will be able to merge the reality between Susan and Andrew, and he's essentially the medium. And if he can merge, these two realities together, the wall will close. They'll shake hands and they'll make a deal. So again, if Wayne persuades Susan into believing that Andrew's program, the course seller, will work out for her, she will convert, right? She'll become a member of the program or pay for the program over the call. And this is going to cost anywhere between 2K to 10K plus. That's what the type of sales that we are in. Right? We sell high ticket products, which is more than 2K and to 10K and beyond. So if they make this transaction over the phone, then what? Right? Then what's in it for us? Well, Susan gets the confidence she's been looking for. And Tyson, which is the setter, Wayne, which is the closer, get paid on a commission or a percentage of how much Andrew's program is worth. So if you got lost, it's all good because I made a summary for y'all. So this is how it starts, right? There's a bunch of attention. There's a bunch of attention. There's a bunch of attention. Like, so cool, man. Oh, this is so dope. Or I really need that. You know what I'm saying? And info seller's like, all right, cool. That's cool. Like, you know what I mean? Go ahead and click my link. And one of these people be like, you know what? Yeah, why not? Why not? Right? They fill out their information, get passed to the setter, picks up, understands, the person's situation, right? They get a 5% cut. So if they understand that this person right here is good to go, pass them off to the closer. They get a 10% cut, right? If he can make the deal, he can seal the deal. Revenue is generated for the company. Like I said, it's 2 to 10K plus, right? And they get a cut. Okay. So let's break the numbers down. And I broke it down in a way that, a child can understand. Okay. So imagine Andrew is selling a program that costs 4 racks. All right. He's selling something really cool, right? And in this case, it's going to be a course. But Andrew doesn't do all that work alone. He has 2 helpers, right? He's got Tyson, helps find the people who might want to buy it. We don't know if they want to buy it or not, but they might want to buy it, right? That's why he's on the phone with people. He's called a setter. Wayne takes those people who might want to buy it and helps them decide to actually buy it. He's the closer. He helps them make the decision. Now, every time the program is sold for 4K, Tyson gets a little thank you, right? A little attaboy, 5% of the money. And if you split that over 100 different pieces, right? Tyson gets 5 of those pieces. That's $200. Wayne, on the bigger hand, gets a little bit of a bigger thank you because he really got him across the line. He really converted them, right? And he gets $400. Okay, so out of that 4,000, Tyson gets 200, the setter. Wayne gets 400, the closer. Andrew most likely will probably keep the rest of it, unless he's working with a business partner, and then they'll split it up, right? That's essentially how it works. So if we get more people like Susan into the program, let's say over a 30-day period, let's say we do that one time, but let's say we do that 30 times, maybe one sale a day, right? 200 times 30 is 6,000, right? 400 times 30 is 12,000. So in 1 month, Tyson as the setter could be making $6,000. Wayne as the closer could be making 12,000. Andrew, like I said, he could be making around 6 figures a month. And that's the quick summary right there, right? 20 times 30, 6,000. 400 times 30, 12. 3,400 times 30, about 102. Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. So as a setter, since the calls are a little shorter, they take a little bit less skill. You'll be expected to probably make about 50 to 100 plus calls a day. Should take about 4 to 6 hours. And as the closer, since the calls are a little bit longer, they take more skill. You'll be expected to make about 5 to 6 calls a day. But again, it takes the same amount of time, right? It takes the same amount of time. Both roles are equally as important. I really want to reiterate this because without the setter, the closer can't close. And without the closer, the setter is not really getting any commission. So they both work in tandem, right? It's supposed to be a symbiotic relationship. So to me, when I realized how this all worked, it was worth it to me, right? Because I could work from the internet, aka anywhere with Wi-Fi. So if I had a laptop, obviously, I could go anywhere I wanted, right? I could work anywhere I wanted as long as I hit my quota, as long as I called about 50, 100 people a day. And that took me from not having much in my bank account, right? I made an investment into a program that helps me do this, and it paid off, right? 30 days later, you can see my commissions there, 1,500, about 2,000 there. So it's about 3.5K, which isn't bad, right? It's not crazy amount of money, but again, it helped me quit my job, and I'm just getting started. So I did that in about 30 days. You can watch the other video of me breaking down my exact story and how I did it. But yeah, that's basically it. So learning this skill is easy. The more you do it, the easier it gets because you're literally saying the same thing over and over again. The hard part is really finding an offer that'll give you that 6 to 12K plus in your pocket each month. That's really the hardest part. So if you want to know how I found a solid offer to sell, watch my last vid. Obviously, I broke that down, the questions you can ask, and also hit me up on IG if you have any direct questions. That's about it. Yeah, if you liked, this video, please subscribe. Please like it. Like I said, hit me up on IG. If you have any more questions, you have any more videos you want me to break down, just let me know. I'll be here. And peace, boys. Let's make this money.